are past major title winners. And that, by the way, Rory, total no-show. Ricky Fowler, good for the first 3 days. No-show yesterday. Where was Jason Day? Dustin Johnson, non-existent. But you know who was? It was Tiger making the comeback. And that's why there was so much drama and it was so compelling yesterday. But, again, moving forward for him to win another major, one of the reasons why it's not going to be easy, and it certainly wasn't easy for him. I mean, think about this. He played that well, and he never hit a fairway in the front nine. That's insane.
See, that's the thing, and that's my takeaway. Everything that has to go right for him to win. And I look at it as another missed opportunity because he's running out of chances. So you might say, wow, he couldn't hit a fairway for the front nine. Well, he also should have gone in the water on 2 and 17.
17 for sure.
How did that, if he goes in the water on 2 or 17, it's over. And we're not talking about this. Of course, Peters goes in the water. Tough, bad break for you, but Tiger doesn't, which doesn't make any sense. But he was lucky, but he also hit some unbelievable shots, and he played a terrific round. But my takeaway, watching this Saturday, Sunday, he shot a 66, a 66, and a 64, and he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has 2 years left and 8 opportunities to win a major. Because once he gets to the age of 45, I don't see how he's going to do it. Because what has to happen for him to win, number one, he's going to have to outplay Koepka, which is a big task in of itself. And then he's going to have to play out of his mind, and then he's going to have Spieth, Thomas, Koepka, Rory, Fowler, DJ. They're all going to have he's going to have to beat those guys over 4 rounds.
Yeah, and all of those guys, think about that. Koepka's 28. Rory's a young guy. Spieth is in his mid-20s. Schauffele's in his mid-20s. Justin Thomas is in his mid-20s.
Molinari's a beast.
Molinari was awesome again this weekend.
Yep.
He's 35 years old. Dustin Johnson's not old. Think about how many we're going to sit here and miss probably 10, 12, 15 golfers that are all still really, really young, and he's going to be 43 years old. But again, I will say this. He was the second best player in the world this weekend. He was the second best. He was better than all of them. Again, Spieth actually can't. Spieth is always lingering. Like, he never goes away, right? But other guys that we just talked about, can we bank on Rory?
He was terrible.
I thought he was shitty the entire weekend.
I thought Tiger was awful last week, too. It's strange how golf works. And we said, I wasn't surprised by what happened. And why we talked to Matt and we talked to Spenny Mack, and they picked against Tiger and said maybe he wouldn't finish top 30 or top 40. It was because he's horrible off the tee. Well, he was horrible off the tee.
Yep.
So until that changes, but the Houdini act that he pulled Friday and what he did on Sunday was incredible in some of the shots he made.
Well, how about the one that pulled the Caddyshack and it refused to go in? It sat on the lip of the cup for 2 minutes and it would not budge.
You thought because of the crowd they would go crazy and
spill in somehow.
Yeah, you're right. Also, your point about Spieth. Well, who knows what happens to Spieth if he doesn't get the triple and he puts it behind the. He got in bad shape there and then put it behind the tree and then hit it off the tree. Go around the tree there. I can't believe he tried to go up over the tree and hit the damn thing, and then his tournament was over when that happened. But you're right, very disappointed again with Rory and what happened. But to me, Koepka's the story. But Tiger, now what happens? Now we can't do this again till April. Now I'm in trouble with the Jeff Sherman bet because he'll win the tick-tock in or some ridiculous tournament where he's playing well. But I'm worried about the age, the health, the back, and now we don't get to talk about this and ending the 11. It'll be an 11-year drought and 43 years old when we talk about the Masters in April.
Mm-hmm. I want a 5th major, by the way. I've said this many, many times. This is not me overreacting to how Tiger played yesterday and tying that into the British Open. I've said this for a good decade, where I want a 5th major. I don't want it to be played in the States. I want it to go somewhere else. I think we should have a 5th major, because now what they're going to do next year, this PGA event's going to be in May, which I do like. So now we're going to get Masters in April, PGA May, then the U.S. Open, then the British. Then they're all done in July. Well, I'm going to want another one in August or September. Put it somewhere else. Add a 5th one, call it whatever, and have it done. This was Tiger, by the way, and to your point, and Koepka was a machine, and the guy is phenomenal. Again, that's now 3 majors in 7. The last 7 that have been played, 2 this year, only the 5th guy, like you talked about, in 1 year to bring home the PGA and the U.S. Open, and Tiger knows how tough Koepka can be.
Brooksy, what he's doing back there is it's tough to beat. When the guy hits a 340 down the middle, that's tough. And what he's did at Shinnecock, just bombing it, and then he's doing the same thing here. I played with him in practice round. He was literally hitting it 340, 350 in the air. And when a guy's doing that and hitting it straight, and as good a putter as he is, it's tough to beat.
I agree with him, and there's nothing Tiger can do. I don't think he played that well yesterday. How many I won't say easy, how many makeable birdie putts did he miss? He went back-to-back holes where he couldn't make a birdie putt, Koepka.
Sure.
I mean, again.
Well, that's the same thing with Justin Thomas.
That's true.
His round yesterday. How many 8-footers would actually hit the hole and then go out? And then what happened to him later on when Lowry was taking it up with he had a big issue because he was around a tree. That cost him like 5 or 6 minutes, and everybody that was on the broadcast, they pointed at JT, and he's just like shaking his head. He's kind of rolling his eyes. You could tell that he was pissed off, and that maybe cost him a little bit too.
That's what's up. That's what Tiger's up against. This machine. 2017 Masters, tied for 11th. Then he won the U.S. Open. Then he finished 6th at the British. Then he was 13th. Didn't play in the Masters. And then he won the U.S., the PGA, and then he was tied for 39th at the British Open. The run that this guy's on. He's right. If he's hitting at 340 straight and he makes a couple birdie putts, I mean, he didn't even get off to a good start. And then he shoots the 63 on Friday. And then he just took off, and he was in play at the Westgate. Late Saturday, he was minus 350 and then went off even money at Westgate and William Hill going into Sunday. And Adam Scott pushed him, but pulled away late. Adam Scott, again, the putter let him down. But fantastic television again and great drama.
Must-watch television all day yesterday.
You see the ratings were up 50% on Saturday? Just from Saturday where they were from last year?
I don't doubt it at all. That is the Tiger effect. And by the way, Thomas was talking about that afterwards too. The first time he really felt the full Tiger effect during a round in a major is when he could hear the entire gallery going nuts for him in the crowd. Did you see some of the pictures when he was coming back over the bridge?
Yeah, I was watching it live when he was, I mean, it was wild. I'm surprised how many people still like him. That blows my mind.
Look at this.
Yeah. I'm surprised by that. But now he's polarizing.
And
that's
here's
a lot of people hate him, too.
Sure. But look at this now. Look at the entire crowd in St. Louis. And that tells you they were more concerned, or I guess more enthralled with him walking over the bridge than actually watching check that, Koepka and Scott come up on that hole. Because they were behind him. I thought Nance did a good job pointing that out. The whole round, those guys were, there was, okay, what's Koepka doing? It was like, you're not focused on it. Mm-hmm. The crowd was focused on him and what he was doing with the gallery and everyone following him. But another thing, too, these announcers have to calm down. And a lot of this, I blame the media, too. And I sent you this email, but, Nick Faldo should know better. Because he played the sport, he knows the game. Stop with this would be the greatest comeback in the history of sports. Number one, that's asinine. Number two, it's not even the best comeback in golf if he's able to come back and win a major. Ben Hogan was hit by a Greyhound bus and almost died, and then came back and won 6 majors. 1949 would have been killed, but he dove across the car to try to protect his wife. If he didn't do so, he would have been killed because the steering column punctured the driver's seat. He fractured his pelvis, collarbone, ankle, chipped rib, near-fatal blood clots, would suffer lifelong circulation problems and other physical limitations. The doctor said, you might not play golf again. You might not walk again. And he was there for 59 days and came back and won 6 majors. But you want to talk about a guy who's had some back surgeries? Oh, they had the...
Come on.
I mean, the entire weekend, they had the pom-poms out for him on the broadcast. I mean... giddy on the air, laughing when he was hitting good shots, calling it, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. This is the greatest Saturday, greatest Sunday I've ever been a part of. Yep. That was actually on the broadcast. Is it Gary McCord? Who called him Bruce Koepka earlier in the year. He was, I don't know how CBS and TNT, I don't know how they don't address him going forward. He was laughable yesterday. Just absolutely all over Tiger Woods' nuts. It was terrible. Yeah, par for the course. The coverage was a debacle and a disgrace for all 4 days. Sunday was better, but it was more about not showing golf and actual shots as opposed to commercials and not showing any golf, period. And we got 2 guys. Friday was an embarrassment, and we'll do more on this later on, and Brian Blessing's on later in the show, golf expert. 2 guys shoot a 63 Friday. You don't see 1 shot. It's a joke. Yep. It's a joke. Absolute disgrace. Well, during the day yesterday, when Tiger actually started, how many guys did we see? How often? That's another thing. How often did we see John Rahm? How often did we see Ricky Fowler? And the guys were not, I mean, they were not completely out of it there for a while. They would occasionally, maybe once every 45 minutes, hey, let's check in on Ricky.
Completely,
still 9 under.
Completely one away from Fowler. Completely one away from Day.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't show anybody else except for Koepka, Scott, and then Tiger as well. And that's part of the reason why I can't stand the guy too. It's just the media going nonstop over it. At one point, he was front page on ESPN. And the guy was 7 shots back. It's like, well, wait a second.
No, I feel like the entire weekend was about him. That's what the coverage kind of told me. It was not about Koepka and Adam Scott and the other guys that were in it as well. It was all about Tiger. It was all about him. And people that were overreacting yesterday saying, yeah, tell me again how golf doesn't need Tiger. Well, it's embarrassing if you say that. If you think the sport absolutely has to have him, if you don't remember what it was like only a couple of years ago with no Tiger, when all of these guys that we've talked about already in this first segment, and by the way, a lot of the majors that we had, like I think 2015 personally was the best year I can recall for majors. Every one, the leaderboard was 8, 10, 15 deep, and they were all grouped together in all 4 of the majors for the most part.
Yeah.
This one has Tiger, so it was, oh my God, it was amazing, which it was. But the sport does not need him to be great to watch or to bet on or to be a fan of. Not at all.
You're absolutely right. Yes. So that's the casual fan. Fine. I don't need you. Who cares? You don't like golf. You're not a golf fan then.
Right.
Because and that's the other thing that Jeff Sherman told Doug Kazarian last week in an ESPN article. He's not going against Phil and VJ Singh anymore, and that's about it, right? Look who he has to beat day in, day out, every single tournament. These guys are monsters. Sure. These guys are athletes. They're workout warriors. They put the work in. They actually look like athletes, and they are athletes as opposed to the 90s and 15, 20 years ago when they're slobs.
Right. Well, to his credit, he did lead all of them on Sunday at the British before he gave it away. And again, the only person that beat him this weekend was Brooks Koepka. So he beat all the other guys.
Well also, that was a Mickey Mouse course. I have to point that out. That course is a joke. Yeah. All you have to do...
But that's the way the PGA operates,
sure, yeah,
right?
Yeah, and well, that's a good reason. That's a reason why they haven't had a major since 1992. You can't... Come on. All you have to do is hit it straight off the tee and you're going to birdie it. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
That's pretty much all it is. If you hit the fairway, you are going to be in a great spot to birdie it.
Friday, you had 9 players who shot a 65 or lower.
Right.
It's a John Deere Classic.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think we really saw the 2 extremes this year in some of the majors, because the U.S. Open was impossible at Shinnecock. I mean, that was a nightmare to watch for people.
Yep.
That was a nightmare for the players. It was seriously, it was mission impossible. Then we had this weekend where everybody is shooting a 63. By the way, Norm Macdonald, remember told us last week, nobody knows more about golf than him. I love Norm Macdonald. He's one of my favorite guys of all time. As Tiger was making the comeback yesterday, here you go, all caps. It's going to happen, folks. Tiger's really, really going to win a major today. He got caught up in it.
Did you think it was going to happen? I didn't. He got to 1 shot back, but Koepka's a beast.
Thought he had a great chance.
It was funny because
I thought he had a terrific chance to do it. Yeah,
Koepka was. Yeah, but it's like he can't hit the. How's he going to win if he can't hit the ball straight off the tee?
Well, if he could have, that's the thing is that I have it right here.
But that's him though.
Yeah,
again, we knew that going in. He's like 175 in driving accuracy, whatever it was.
64 yesterday. That's his lowest score on a Sunday in his major career. And think about this: his front 9. He finished the front 9 at -3 for the day, 2 shots back of the lead. He was 13 under on the front 9 this week, the best he's ever played on any front 9 at the major, and that was yesterday again where he could not find a fairway.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of how popular he was here in Las Vegas at sportsbooks, so I talked to Chris Andrews last night, who runs the South Point. I said, how bad would it have been had he won? He goes, not bad at all. So people actually did not really bet Tiger this weekend as much as normal. He said it was maybe a small loser. Pretty much a wash. And I talked to Jeff Sherman as well over at the Westgate. He said it would have been the first time in years Tiger was a positive result for their book had he won.
That's surprising.
Well,
how about that?
Sure.
And what happened last week probably factored into it because he was so bad, especially on the weekend. And he is not.
I lost money against him. I bet in the matchups. I bet Thomas and Rory. I lost both.
And he is not the favorite in the Masters. Spieth is 10-1 at the Westgate. DJ and Tiger and JT are 12-1.
Mm-hmm.
McIlroy and Koepka 14, and Bubba's 25-1. So let's do it again in April.
Yeah, and we'll see how those numbers change they probably won't change that much. It'll be based on injury, current form starting next year, how guys are playing going into it. That is Spieth's course, though, at this point of his career. That's why he's going to be the favorite.
Yeah, Bubba, too. Bubba's done well there. Sure. But the other thing is that number has gone crazy with the Thanksgiving weekend matchup against Phil head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
Open $1.10 here. It's now minus 180, and Tigers minus $2.
Yep.
At the Westgate.
At the Westgate. It's Follow the Money on SiriusXM 204, VSiN.com, and the VSiN app. We'll get into win some, lose some from over the weekend, and today's Major League Baseball card. 2 huge pitching matchups, and we have great numbers on Kershaw and DeGrom next.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at VSiN.com.
I love drinking wine. If you love it as much as I do, let me let you in on a little secret of where to get incredible quality wine at unbeatable savings. The place is called Cameron Hughes Wine, and since 2001, Cameron Hughes has been seeking out high-end wine from around the world and selling it online direct to his customers, earning Cameron Hughes Wine the #1 wine brand online. How does he do it? Well, his secret lies in purchasing direct from boutique wineries and cutting out the middlemen. Cam searches for the best wines, bottles them, always keeping his sources secret so he can pass the savings directly on to you under the Cameron Hughes Wine Lot series. You will save at least 40% compared to purchasing the same wines in stores under their original labels. And as summer continues, nothing like cracking open a nice cold bottle of white to end your evening. Cameron Hughes Wine is all about what's inside the bottle. No fancy labels or flashy website, just high-quality wine at prices anybody can afford. Go to chwine.com/Vegas or text the word Vegas to 511-511 and receive free shipping with your minimum 3-bottle order. Text Vegas to 511-511. Cameron Hughes Wine, exceptional value, extraordinary wine.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
I did kind of alter my odds to win the Big Ten, but I had Ohio State minus 110 over the rest of the field. I made them even money. I lowered Michigan and Penn State. Again, not to cast too many aspersions. I'm not privy to facts other than what I'm seeing on Twitter or on TV. But to take it a step further, it is a school, and they're supposed to do the right thing, on many levels, not just winning football.
Yeah, Greg.
This just came down about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Urban Meyer has been placed on administrative leave.
Well, boys, I got some work to do.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
For real, this actually is what happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, this is what we have to do.
One thing that they look at is the percentage, and the Nevada percentage versus the European percentage. And I always used to say, I took my percentage down to the bank, but they wouldn't take it. They said they only take dollars. And that's what these guys really fail to realize. The European model has all sorts of, there's hidden percentage in everything that they do. And that's fine. It's worked well for them. The American market is totally different. And it's not going to go for some of that, I don't know if I could say it, but bull crap.
How much of an improvement will it be? Did I even read that you guys might even think they have a shot at contending for a playoff berth?
They absolutely have a shot of contending for a playoff berth. We have this projected as a top 10 defense. We do not have the offense projected well, but oh my God, is it going to be better than last year? Whether it's Taylor or Mayfield, and Mayfield has one of our best quarterback projections ever. If college performance means anything, and it does mean something, right? It's hard to project, but it's better to be coming out of college with good performance than bad.
I think the prudent, proper thing to do is to allow the teams that are in your state to be wagered on. And realistically, UNLV, we take very little action to the broad scope of things to UNLV. Over the last few years, and I don't know if that'll be the case here. I think some of the Mississippi teams could draw some really strong action, but it's the regional teams that are going to really draw strong action as well.
It's been between 2 and 3 minutes. You know what that means. It must be time for more Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on SiriusXM 204.
Paul, we are now less than 2 full weeks away from college football.
Yes.
How awesome is that? And our very own VSiN College Football Betting Guide is available for you. It is unlike any other publication you might see at your local newsstand or on the internet. It's 150 pages, and it's all gambling on 130 teams in FBS. We talk about their season-long win totals with write-ups on every single team, the players they have returning, stats over the last 4 years, great predictions from Matt Humans, Brett Musburger, Steve Makinen, JVT, Brett Lawson as well. You can go to vsin.com/betfootball to get it today.
Rough night?
Le who? The her.
Good night?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
How does it make you feel?
It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
Follow The Money Looks Back so we can learn for today.
Won't you tell me where all the good times go?
Win some, lose some. Let the education commence.
I didn't forget about it. Mitch, they got me again with this damn hole-in-one prop. Unbelievable.
I want to lay off.
Oh, come on. And you know what? Father Time's undefeated. And it happens to the best of us. It even happened to my grandpa Clem. And Mitch, you know Clem well. It was just unfortunate where one week I'm talking to him and we're talking about the Twins and he's sharp and everything. We're talking about the bullpen. And then the next week he's 3 miles down the road and the neighbors find him. He didn't know where he was. I'm not saying you put Vern Lundquist in a home, but you don't put a microphone in front of him. So that's not live. They throw it to him. Hole in one, here we go. Matt Wallace, and he still gets his name wrong. And then he said Brooks Koepka later in it. Get him out of there. What are we doing here?
Well, here's my question. Why is he still on golf when he's not doing college football anymore?
I don't know. He's lost out there. It happens. But how does that go in? That's a tough hole. It was like the Masters hole-in-one, which that's one you can't bet because it keeps happening. But the one that got me in April at the Masters, it was impossible how that went in.
Well, I would say this, right? I mean, it feels like that's you bet the yes for the hole-in-one at the PGA and also at the Masters, and you would bet the no at the British and the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
That's what it feels
Unbelievable.
like.
That took money, too. I got up to $1.30 on the no. Last night, what a game. The Nats were minus 135. I lost on this one. I was going to call this a bad beat the other way because the Nats led 1-0 in the ninth and they had one hit. Hamels was terrific. Scherzer was better, but he ran out of gas. Had to go to the bullpen. 3-0 Nats, bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and the Cubs load the bases without the ball leaving the infield. And the grand slam walk-off 4-3. What a game.
How pissed off are you if you're Scherzer? Again, you go out there and the Cubs can't touch you. He's the only pitcher in Major League Baseball this year to go at least 7 innings with no earned runs and 10 or more strikeouts. They couldn't touch him last night. He was blowing the ball by the entire lineup.
Yep.
You leave the game after 7, and then that happens, and that's how you lose the game.
That's a killer. See how they respond today?
Yes.
Now, I will say that the Rockies did a good job because we were here Friday. The Rockies blew it Thursday night again, but they came back and won the next 3. But also they had some great comebacks. They had the walk-off we'll get to in a second, the other one, but tough. Over the weekend, this is bad. The Chargers +3 against the Cardinals. They lost 24-17. Chargers were +3. They outgained Arizona 387-174. The first downs were 23-11. The Cardinals got a defensive touchdown, and the Chargers had 4 turnovers. And all the Arizona drives were short, taken over deep in L.A. territory. Horrible. Dominated the game. Couldn't cash the ticket.
Typical Chargers.
Right. Dodgers on Saturday. 2-0. Bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. 3-run walk-off for the Rockies. Dodgers lose. Rockies win it 3-2.
And that was the kid that was starting because Arenado was banged up a little bit. Yeah.
What a story. Arizona, Cincinnati under on Saturday. Under 8.5. 2-2 in the 8th. 6-3 final. Bullpens blew up.
Ouch.
This was kind of a tough beat. Not a bad beat. But also Saturday. A's, Angels over 8.5. 7-0 in the top of the 4th. That's your final. Condolences to Nigel Seeley. And I had this as well. Man U, Leicester City under 2.5, and Man U to win to 0. 2-0, 90 seconds left. Leicester scores. Vardy puts it in on a fluky goal that hit the post, and then everyone from Man U stopped for whatever reason. He goes, thank you very much, puts it in. 2-1 final. Puts it over, and you can't win the 2-0 bet. Win some. Mets 155-175. They won yesterday. And the Red Sox. Bad for the books the entire year, every single day. 50 games over 500. from 335 up to 360. They beat the Orioles again. They're 14-2 against the Orioles this year. And how good was Sale? 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. Lose some. White Sox plus 235 down to $2, and the under 8 down to 7.5. They lost 9-7. Dodgers Rockies over 11 up to 12, 4-3 final. Dodgers 160 up to 180, and the Twins took money and lost 4-2. They've lost 5 of their last 6 against the Tigers. That's win-lose.
And I said last week, because it was a 4-game series, so I said this on Thursday and Friday, if the Mariners cannot take at least 3 from the Astros, if it was a 2-2 or a 3-1 Astros win of the series, it was over with, put a fork in them, they're going to be done, Johnny. They took all 4 games. They came back yesterday. They were actually up 2-0. Astros with a huge 8th.
Can't call that a bad beat, right? Because it was 2-0 in the 8th.
Sure.
They blow it, and
right.
then
Diaz picked up a save in all 4 games, and now they are 4 back of the Astros.
And the A's are 2.5.
2.5 back.
And the A's,
Correct.
You're right. Good job by John Von Tobel. Good tweet. The Astros have lost 8 in a row at home, and you're down 20 units if you bet on them in every game.
At home.
Yes. This horrible stretch they have at home. So, and Diaz, the first guy since 2004 to do that, he is supposedly not available tonight. They start the huge series in Oakland. They still have 10 games left against one another. And now the A's got the Astros coming to town after this.
After this, sure.
Oh, this is a race. This is on.
So you sweep all 4 from Houston. Now you fly across the country, halfway across the country to go play the A's on the road. And you're right. Well, you said first time since 2004?
2004 that a pitcher did that.
How many times are guys actually available for 4 consecutive days? We're talking about maybe late October. Maybe.
You're right.
That's going to be about it, where all hands are on deck.
You got a shot there.
Cy Young?
Sale gets hurt maybe, or...
Sale's
what if this guy has 60 saves?
No, he's in the conversation, I think.
They make the playoffs? Yeah, I've got my fingers crossed. I would love to see Yankees-Astros in the play-in game.
Oh, my God.
That could happen.
Verlander and Severino.
Ooh.
Well, we do get Severino on the hill tonight. A little bit of money coming in on him today as well here at the South Point. He opened up $1.65. He's now $1.72 this morning. The total is 7 as they host Jacob deGrom and the Mets. deGrom 3-3 with a 2.02 road ERA this entire year. This is incredible. He's 0-6 with a 2.0 ERA when he gets 2 runs of support or less this year.
Again, one more time.
0-6, his personal record. 0-6 with an ERA of exactly 2 when the team gives him 2 runs of support or less.
It's a write-in game, make-up game. I can't wait on ESPN. And I'll tell you something, Mitch. As bad as they are, and with that stat you just read, still, if it's late September and I need a win, I don't want to see Thor or deGrom. I don't want to see that. 15 straight quality starts. First Mets pitcher to do that since Gooden in 86.
Wow.
When Gooden did it, he had 11 wins during that stretch. deGrom has 3. It's laughable.
That's truly amazing.
It is.
Now, in the last month here, Severino's 1-3 with a 7.77 ERA, but
big start.
He is 8-1 at home with a 2.31, and he has he has a 1.15 career ERA versus the Mets.
Great last time out. deGrom I'm talking about. And with the 1.77 with Severino, he already got beat by the Yankees that Sunday night game when he's a huge favorite, and they got shut out. So this is a great game, a great pitching matchup.
Awesome.
But it's huge for Severino and his confidence as well. He's got to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
And he had that rough first inning against the White Sox, but before that stretch, he had 5 bad outings in a row. But if you get deGrom any kind of run support, I still think it's a race. All the talk about Scherzer, and he's had a great year. But if this guy with an ERA of 1.77, what if he keeps pitching?
Oh, I totally agree. I would never call Scherzer a lock to win this award right now.
Yeah.
You can't do it. And the other great pitching matchup we have tonight comes on the West Coast as the Dodgers are hosting the Giants. It's a 10:10 p.m., 7:10 Pacific time start. It's Kershaw, Mad Bum. Get this now. Mad Bum, 9-7, 2.42 career ERA in L.A. That's in L.A. And he's 15-10 with a 2.6 career ERA versus this team. You think that's good? Kershaw says, hold my beer.
Yep.
22-10 career in 42 starts versus the Giants with a 1.60 ERA.
That's your big boy. There it is. Owns them. Staggering numbers. That's sick. A 1.60 in that many starts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, $2. Now, the big chance for the Dodgers here. See how they respond after they blow it twice against the Rockies and they've lost 3 in a row. You get the bad news with Jansen, who's out for a month. Their bullpen's by committee. Their bullpen's a mess right now. Now, some people like this, others don't. They are moving Maeda and Stripling to the bullpen, and they're putting Ryu in the rotation, and he hasn't started since May 2nd. Stripling was an all-star.
He was, yes.
I don't know about this move. Now, I know Maeda's like bottom 5 in ROI, bottom 6 in ROI for a pitcher, but you're taking an all-star out of the rotation and putting him in the pen, and you're putting a guy in there who hasn't pitched since early May. Risky move here.
I think a first 5 under bet might be a call here tonight on this game. OPS versus left-handed pitching. The Dodgers are 22nd, Giants are 21st, and the Dodgers are 28th in average versus lefties this year. They only hit 226 versus left-handed pitchers. So it's a typical number of 7 on the board.
Yeah, I thought the offense would be a lot better too. So this is a race. This is wild. Dodgers are a game back of Arizona, who lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds, by the way.
Bad series.
And the Rockies are only a game and a half back, although the Rockies have a tough schedule. They go to Houston, which is a good series coming up. So the Dodgers, the bats haven't been getting it done with the bats. This is going to be fun. It's a great matchup.
And going back to the Nationals loss last night, my God, what a gut punch that was. Now you got it's a quick trip, but you go to the Cardinals tonight and you get Mikolas tonight.
Craig Mish looks good. They're 2.5. They're 5.5 back of the Cubs and 2.5 back in the wild card. That he thinks the Cardinals are gonna get this wild card. One of them. They have a very difficult schedule, but they're live. I think they're 16-9 since the managerial change. So that's what you're supposed to do. You beat bad teams, and they took it to Kansas City, and they're playing well. And now the Nats got to get off the mat. You can't like their chances with Malone going today.
Agreed. It's Follow the Money on Sirius XM 204. You can watch the show with the VSiN app. Up next, we'll get to NFL observations from the weekend. This first-round pick probably should start packing his bags.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at VSiN.com.
I'm Brent Musburger, reminding you that the football betting season is here. There is nothing like it. Are you ready to celebrate the thrill of victory and cash a ticket even on defeats? Sharpen your edge now with the help of Matt Humans, Dave Tooley, and the rest of my guys in the desert. We'll get you prepared for the football season with exclusive handicapping stories and data that you won't find anywhere else. Go to vsin.com/subscribe for the package that makes sense for you, including a 1-week trial at no charge. Our new all-access subscription includes Point Spread Weekly, VSiN's digital magazine designed to make you a better handicapper and avoid the agony of defeat. You'll also get VSiN's 140-plus page college football betting guide, followed by our comprehensive pro football betting guide in August. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe. Remember, cashing tickets is what it's all about.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
A guy wants $10,000 on the Falcons to win the Super Bowl. Without hesitating, I said, yeah, good, fine, write the ticket. So I turned my back. I was talking to Shelly some more. And then the guy started waving. He said, no, I don't want it. And he says, I think I can get better odds somewhere else. Well, why would you come to the counter, you idiot? If you wanted to make $10,000 bet, and then we said, okay, and then he changed his mind. And we tell you why? Because he didn't want to make that bet anyway.
He just wanted to hear it.
He just wanted someone to say, no, we can't take it. I'm telling you, I've been around this crazy racket my whole life. Vincenzo knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I haven't heard one person make the case for Conor McGregor. I'm guessing you're going to be in that same camp where you're going to love Khabib in that fight. Am I right?
There is no argument. Well, yeah, there's one argument. The lucky punch, the puncher's chance argument, and that's it. I mean, that is it. Because once Khabib takes him down, Conor will quit, gas, name it, and he will get absolutely obliterated. This fight ends when Khabib wants it to end, and it will not be close.
What does this mean to you if there is no Urban Meyer this year coaching Ohio State?
prior to this situation with Urban Meyer, I picked Ohio State in 9-3. The biggest question I'm going to have if Urban Meyer isn't on the sidelines with their new head coach or interim head coach Ryan Day is, how is that going to fare with former head coach for Indiana Kevin Wilson and former Rutgers head coach Greg Schiano? There's a lot of personalities involved in the mix. How will this team respond under those circumstances with Ryan Day at the helm? That's the biggest question mark I have.
And I believe that NBA is going to run with this. I mean, you'll see it. There'll be a full court press now, I believe, with their. And then, and everybody goes, well, why are you so opposed to paying data fees? It's not that we're opposed to paying data fees. It's once they have an exclusive on that feed, they can charge whatever they want, Matt, as you know, and that's the problem. I mean, once you can't go out and get a different, a number like anything else you buy, you can go shop, right? And that'll be taken away from us. And then really they get their integrity feed just through another source. So it's and that's why it's such a dangerous precedent.
Your search is over. You found Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on Sirius XM 204. Now listen up for Winformation.
Well, I can't wait to have the NFL upon us. And actually, we talked to odds makers here in Las Vegas to see how they're going to adjust things this year in the NFL. Because the current way, in the current form that this league is being played with the new rules, with the helmet, and what players don't know about it, what coaches don't know about it, how they don't know, right? They're trying to teach technique on what you're supposed to do, and when players go out there and do what they're taught and they're still flagged for 15 yards, and fans are going to want to burn these stadiums to the ground or throw your TVs in the trash because you don't know what you're watching. I retweeted a hit in the Cardinals-Chargers game from the weekend, and the reaction that I got, I can't believe the NFL is as big as it is still, because it seems like people, like every person reacting to that hit and the flag said, I'm done. I can't watch this sport anymore. It's been like that for a couple of years. You can combine this with other stuff that's kind of off the field, why people are tired of the NFL, but it's still the king. The Super Contest might get 4,000 people in it. And this place
well,
is
betting,
yeah.
yeah.
Betting. This place is going to be out the door. But that's, how do they adjust? My one question, how do you possibly adjust totals for this, right? And that's the feedback that I got from a lot of people is,
I think that's a good point.
Right? If it's going to be advantage offense even more than we've ever seen before, how do you adjust?
Well, what's the guy supposed to do? It's like the hit in the Hall of Fame game when Sam Munson tweeted it's illegal to play safety now in the NFL.
Yeah.
After the guy was flagged. And then what happened, and it was Dave Pasch and Ron Wolfe on the call with Arizona. They do the preseason games. Wolfe played a long time in the league. He was speechless. He goes, what are you supposed to do? How am I supposed to tackle the guy? I mean, if a guy's coming over the middle, and that's the other thing. The last thing the NFL needed, two things. You add more rules, and then you put it on the officials where the game is played so fast, and you got to make a quick call like that, and you can't tell. If it looks bad or it's a hard hit, they're going to throw the flag every time.
Every single time,
So the guys are going to have to let up, or it's something that we're supposed to do, let the guy catch the ball.
So you can't hit low, because that's going to be a flag and possibly a fine.
That's
if you
right.
injure somebody's knee, right? You can't hit high because, well, we all know why. But then even if you lead with your shoulder, if you go in, like, this is the guy, right? If this is the receiver, and I'm going to go in with my shoulder, but it even looks like it's remotely close like that, and I'm going shoulder first, by default, the referees will throw the flag, and that's a 15-yard penalty. And that, by the way, that might be a 3rd and 12, incomplete, not automatic first down.
We just spent 2 years on coming with the shoulder, right? Don't just you come in with the shoulder, you're okay.
Sure.
Now that's getting flagged.
Yeah, that's been flagged now numerous times, and people are trying to say, well, they're going to get it out of their system, and come regular season play, we're no longer going to see this. I would ask you this. Do you trust the NFL to change this once the regular – you want to trust the NFL? This league?
No, you can't. Where's Goodell? Where is he? And I swear this is the only time we'll talk about this. This is the only time. But this anthem thing isn't going to go away. It's only going to get worse now, too.
Yeah, it's already worse.
And you know who weighing in on Twitter? It's out of control. It's not hard. Go back to the old rule where you stay in the locker room while the anthem's being played.
It's pretty simple.
You know, I was saying this in junior high. Junior high was saying this. Why are they playing the national anthem before sporting events?
Right.
Get it out of here. It doesn't belong. I went to Mission Impossible. They didn't play the national anthem. I went to Broadway shows. I go to shows in Vegas. They don't play the national anthem.
Nope.
I've been to over 50 concerts in my life. They don't play the national anthem. Sports is entertainment. Doesn't belong. But just go back to everyone's in the locker room. Then you play it. You won't have this. You won't have this mess.
Right. It's not a big deal. It wasn't that long ago when they actually did that. End it.
I know.
Do
Where's
that.
Goodell? Not a word. Not a peep. Nothing.
So we have this on the back end of the catch rule, which existed for years, and nobody had any idea what a catch was. It was you were flipping a coin every single time.
Yep. That dominated the season last year. That was huge. The key moments of the season, of the game. Home field in the AFC, Patriots and Steelers. Touchdown, they win the game. Oh,
Right.
Whoop, no, get the stop, incomplete. All right, interception rather, and they win. So that's
Man, so it's just
and I'll tell you, Peter King wasn't happy either. But it was, I mean, he can't stand preseason football to begin with. But his tweet, we say it every year and it won't change. Paying full price for preseason is insane. In that game, you had all those penalties called. 32 penalties.
26 accepted for 165 yards.
Yep.
Look at that. 5 flags in the last minute 50. You got to be kidding me.
3 hours and 37 minutes, and the starting QBs combined to throw 1 pass. Serenity now, he tweets. It was bad. It was bad.
All right, so beyond that, some of the things that some of the players that look good, I thought Sam Darnold was solid. He did have a little bit of the happy feet, I thought, and it's not like he made 1,000 throws down the field, but I thought the debut of Darnold with the Jets was pretty good. They covered 17-0. Again, we pointed this out last week. Falcons don't have a care in the world in the preseason.
No, that was the right move and easy winner for you.
Yeah, moved from a point to 3.5 in that game.
Oh, they were terrible. Their offense was a joke.
Chucky said he came out after the Lynch call was the run was called back for the Raiders. By the way, the Godfather on the call, I listened to some of that. He still got it, man.
Yeah, did a good job.
Still got it.
Yep.
And every time you hear Brent on a game, you're like, feels like a big game. He's got that voice.
You're right. Exactly right. 9-0 now, Gruden. Gruden's money, week 1 of the preseason.
Yep. And how about the Vikings at Denver?
What a game this was.
That was, wow, was that wild for a preseason game.
Circus.
Back and forth. Suddenly they trail. Chad Kelly's lighting the world on fire, and Zimmer covers again.
Sure. 13-5 now. That's just ATS. All he does is win games in the preseason.
Yep.
Broncos have to cut Paxton Lynch.
Yep.
Have to. Can't play. And you can't keep a first-round pick is going to be behind Mr. Irrelevant on the depth chart. Kelly's just better.
I don't even know.
It's not even close.
It's not even a debate.
No. And our guys who go to practice and are there in Denver are saying that. Now you go out, you watch the game. It's night and day. I mean, you're not even playing. Oh boy, is Paxton Lynch terrible?
Yep. And Keenum,
you can't do it. You can't have a first-round pick as a third string. You got to cut him.
You're going to have to, Paul. You have no choice.
Yep.
And that's so they whiffed on first-round quarterbacks with this guy and also Tim Tebow. It tells you how important it is. You got to nail these picks. I mean, just ask the Browns, right? You got to nail these first-round picks. You can't keep blowing them like this.
Yep. I'm glad you brought up the Browns too. And this is going to be a big story. And so Mike Florio told Peter King, who wrote about this today in his column, tomorrow on Hard Knocks, Todd Haley looks in the camera and says, I don't want Baker Mayfield on the bench. It's not up to me. I don't want him on the bench. So, number one, that's what he thinks of Hugh Jackson, coming off the heels of him questioning him about why are these guys sitting out practice?
Sure.
So this is number one, it's not good for Hugh. Number two, that's great television. And that shows you what these assistants think of Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
That he looked at the camera and said that. Nah, Mayfield shouldn't be on the bench.
Watching the first episode again, I mean, first of all, again, I've said this about the Browns, their win total is 5.5 or 6. I would actually consider the over if they had a different head coach.
Yep.
But watching him on Hard Knocks again just cements my feelings on that guy overall. He's not the guy. And to sit there, okay, you're in your chair. I'm in my chair now. And I know it's a week old now with the episode, but it's just like, what are you talking about, man? You're 1-31 the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know everyone grieves differently too, but Peter King also wrote about where he's sitting there. It's him and the assistants. And all of a sudden he goes, I lost my mom and my brother here in the same week.
Yeah.
They both passed away. All right, back to the film. Oh, this is an inside handoff here, okay? And
little weird.
Yes.
But before that, though, in all fairness, they did show him he was breaking down.
That was after.
When he got the news. No, that was I must have watched. They must have they must have cut it then.
Oh, when Dorsey comes in with the communications guy?
He was on the phone with his sister when he got the news.
Oh, okay, before that. Right,
yeah,
right,
and then they go over to the meeting room. Sure.
And then Dorsey came in and gave him a hug, and then, that's when he lost it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's horrible for the guy, but it's just strange where it's like, okay, I'd take the day off. It's okay.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'll give you this from Mike Francesa on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Paul. So this is before the Jets played against the Falcons, right?
Now look at the tweets. They're 3 hours apart.
Right. So this is before the game starts. The Pope says, when you see or hear a declaration made about a coach, quarterback, or team after one preseason game played at half speed with no sophistication and limited personnel, laugh at it, or better yet, ignore it. After the game, the debate should be a short one. Sam Darnold should be the starting quarterback right now. Jets found their guy.
By the way, best headline on that came from Deadspin because they were like, Mike Francesa, yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch. It's a great Chappelle Show reference.
Okay, yeah.
He does stuff like that all the time because, I mean, that's like me coming back today saying, I told you Tiger's back.
Yeah, you did.
I love him.
You were
He's
all over the guy.
unbelievable. He does stuff like this all the time. There's a guy on Twitter back after this.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, Francesa will sit there like in January. Yankees are the team to beat, dog. I mean, the Yankees are the team to beat. And then like a month later, he'll say, I like the Red Sox. Watch out for them. They're the team to beat. He doesn't know it. But this guy rolls on every show and keeps track of it. And he does this all the time. But here to tweet that, 3 hours, right after he tweets it, 3 hours. Oh, Donald's the guy. That's it. Shut it down. Donald's the guy.
No debate.
We found our
Jets found
quarterback.
their guy.
Found our
There you go.
quarterback.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Laugh at it. Ignore it. Doesn't mean anything. Bah, this is the guy. Yeah, he's the future.
Look, this is the guy that invented fantasy football, so let's lay off here.
He did invent. Did he also invent Twitter? Did we hear that one too? Good. Yeah. All right. It's Follow the Money, and that was great. You got to love this stuff. Follow the Money on Sirius XM 204. Up next, a Las Vegas sportsbook is in trouble. They were hit with a big fine. We'll give you all of the details on this story coming up next.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at VSiN.com.
GetQuip.com, baby. Do you always brush twice a day for a full 2 minutes? And when was the last time you replaced your toothbrush? Paying attention to these good habits has a huge impact on your health. Introducing Quip, the new electric toothbrush to help to fix the brushing habits that most people get wrong. Quip does this with a lightweight and sleek design, simple time vibrations, and guiding pulses to give you a perfect 2-minute clean. Bulkier electric brushes have awkward charging stands, modes you don't need, and cost 5 times as much. Quip starts at $25. You can get brush head refills automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended 3-month schedule for only $5, and shipping's free. Quip's been featured in GQ, Oprah's O-List, and Time Magazine named it one of the best inventions of the year. You can't beat that. Go to getquip.com/money right now and get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. First refill pack free. GetQuip.com/money.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
I did kind of alter my odds to win the Big Ten, but I had Ohio State minus 110 over the rest of the field. I made them even money. I lowered Michigan and Penn State. Again, not to cast too many aspersions. I'm not privy to facts other than what I'm seeing on Twitter or on TV. But to take it a step further, it is a school, and they're supposed to do the right thing, on many levels, not just winning football.
Yeah, Greg.
This just came down about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Urban Meyer has been placed on administrative leave.
Well, boys, I got some work to do.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
For real, this actually is what happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, this is what we have to do.
One thing that they look at is the percentage, and the Nevada percentage versus the European percentage. And I always used to say, I took my percentage down to the bank, but they wouldn't take it. They said they only take dollars. And that's what these guys really fail to realize. The European model has all sorts of, there's hidden percentage in everything that they do. And that's fine. It's worked well for them. The American market is totally different. And it's not going to go for some of that, I don't know if I could say it, but bull crap.
How much of an improvement will it be? Did I even read that you guys might even think they have a shot at contending for a playoff berth?
They absolutely have a shot of contending for a playoff berth. We have this projected as a top 10 defense. We do not have the offense projected well, but oh my God, is it going to be better than last year? Whether it's Taylor or Mayfield, and Mayfield has one of our best quarterback projections ever. If college performance means anything, and it does mean something, right? It's hard to project, but it's better to be coming out of college with good performance than bad.
I think the prudent, proper thing to do is to allow the teams that are in your state to be wagered on. And realistically, UNLV, we take very little action to the broad scope of things to UNLV, over the last few years, and I don't know if that'll be the case here. I think some of the Mississippi teams could draw some really strong action, but it's the regional teams that are going to really draw strong action as well.
We're back with more Follow the Money on Sirius XM 204. Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard have the mics for the information you need to win.
Here's your story from NN Business Review, nnbusinessview.com. My apologies. Right from the story. In Carson City, Nevada, a company that operates race and sports books in 8 Las Vegas casinos is being fined $250,000 by the Nevada regulators for illegally accepting out-of-state bets, taking wagers after the contest was completed, and underpaying or overpaying players. CG Technology Holding last week signed a stipulation with the Nevada Gaming Control Board. It will also discontinue the use of a sports pool computer system. This is the third time the company's been fined for violations. It paid a $22.5 million fine to the U.S. government in October of 2016, with the state receiving $700,000 of the amount. The state also imposed a $1.5 million penalty in 2006 for gaming violations. So let's see here. The board said there were 33 wagers made in October 2016 after a college football game was completed. A week later, it took 9 wagers after a college football game was over with. And last October, the business accepted wagers at the exact moment the odds were being changed. As a result, 783 players received $7,368 more than expected, and 700 patrons got $4,465 less than expected. What the hell's going on?
The other, when they got fined one of the times, I'm getting tracked. I think it's been more than that they've been in trouble. But you wonder when they step in and say, enough's enough here. What are you doing? But they had an issue where the round robins, if you bet a round robin, the pricing, the payouts were way off too. That was another scandal.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know why.
So it's the third time they've been dinged, this time $250,000. And think about that again. 33 bets were made October of 2016 after a college football game was completed. The next week, they took 9 more bets on a game that was already over with.
I got to talk to the Fitz and other people about this. How does this happen over and over and over again? How are you overpaying people, underpaying people, taking bets out of state?
How are they taking? Is that all on the app? I'm wondering then. So that many bets in October of last year, when the numbers were actually being changed, we're talking about almost 1,500 different bets were made as numbers were being changed. They have 8 books here in town, but they've had the app running for a number of years. But, wow, that's a major, major violation from I would say a prominent Las Vegas sportsbook, right? They have 8 books.
Yep. Again, I don't know.
They also agreed to give increased training to its employees over the next 5 years.
That's what they said the last time.
I recall that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Sit down.
We'll do a better job. We'll fix our
right?
computer. We got just an issue with the round robin. Oh man,
bad look. It's Follow the Money on Sirius XM 204, VSiN.com, and the VSiN app. We'll get to PGA and the NFL coming up to start the next hour. The 2019 Masters odds are now out. Tiger is not the favorite to win. We will tell you who is next.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at VSiN.com.
I told you this weekend was a 3-TV weekend. It was huge, and you need the X chair. So comfortable, looking forward to every weekend from here on out. Got the EPL package on Saturday morning and watching all the games on my computer and TVs with the X chair. So comfortable, rocks back and forth, easy to adjust. Don't be intimidated, but it's the IndyCar of X chair, office chairs, and so stylish and modern. More than just good looks, and boy, it looks good. It molds itself to your body, giving you ideal posture. I can't tell you how comfortable it is. It's awesome, which gives you more energy, better concentration, and more productivity. And once you feel the difference, you will understand. If you're skeptical, go ahead. Take the 30-day no questions asked guarantee of complete satisfaction to feel for yourself. Go to xchairvegas.com now, and you'll get $100 off. xchairvegas.com or call 1-844-4XChair. xchairvegas.com. Use code VEGASFootrest and get a free footrest. xchairvegas.com.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
A guy wants $10,000 on the Falcons to win the Super Bowl. Without hesitating, I said, yeah, good, fine, write the ticket. So I turned my back. I was talking to Shelly some more. And then the guy started waving. He said, no, I don't want it. And he said, I think I can get better odds somewhere else. Well, why would you come to the counter, you idiot? If you wanted to make $10,000 bet, and then we said okay, and then he changed his mind. Let me tell you why. Because he didn't want to make that bet anyway.
He just wanted to
hear
He just
wanted someone to say, no, we can't take it. I'm telling you, I've been around this crazy racket my whole life. Vincenzo knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I haven't heard one person make the case for Conor McGregor. I'm guessing you're going to be in that same camp where you're going to love Khabib in that fight. Am I right?
There is no argument. Well, yeah, there's one argument. The lucky punch, the puncher's chance argument, and that's it. I mean, that is it. Because once Khabib takes him down, Conor will quit, gas, name it, and he will get absolutely obliterated. This fight ends when Khabib wants it to end, and it will not be close.
What does this mean to you if there is no Urban Meyer this year coaching Ohio State?
Prior to this situation with Urban Meyer, I picked Ohio State in 9-3. The biggest question I'm going to have if Urban Meyer isn't on the sidelines with their new head coach or interim head coach Ryan Day is, how is that going to fare with former head coach for Indiana Kevin Wilson and former Rutgers head coach Greg Schiano? There's a lot of personalities involved in the mix. How will this team respond under those circumstances with Ryan Day at the helm? That's the biggest question mark I have.
And I believe that NBA is going to run with this. I mean, you'll see it. There'll be a full court press now, I believe, with their. And then, and everybody goes, well, why are you so opposed to paying data fees? It's not that we're opposed to paying data fees. It's once they have an exclusive on that feed, they can charge whatever they want, Matt, as you know, and that's the problem. I mean, once you can't go out and get a different, a number like anything else you buy, you can go shop, right? And that'll be taken away from us. And then really they get their integrity feed just through another source. So it's and that's why it's such a dangerous precedent.
It's time to follow the money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard, only on the Vegas Stats and Information Network, Sirius XM Channel 204.
Thanks for checking in on a busy Monday. Bottom of this hour, we will head to Nolens, check in with Mike Detillier, the great Mike Detillier. I love talking to this guy from WWL in New Orleans. We'll talk about LSU and can they go over their win total, 7 or 7.5? Can they win 8 games this year? We'll talk about that with Mike coming up at the bottom of this hour. I'm looking at Brooks Koepka's odds right now at SO History on Twitter to win the 2018 PGA Championship. Opened up 20-1 July 23rd. The night before, he was 18-1. Round 2, 25-1. Then before day 3, he was plus 550 and even money to win it yesterday. The guy was nails yet again, and you had and he had so many guys charging at him, including Tiger. And
isn't it amazing he can't come from behind? He's got to have the lead.
He's never done it before.
That's nuts. And I know they kept saying that, but if he can somehow get the lead here, but
he was 4 back, and he still came charging that hard at him.
Oh, it's a great effort. I mean, think how it started Thursday, where he goes bogey and double, and he goes in the water on 2, and he's 3 over right away.
Sure.
And then you could also point to what happened Friday, where I think he parred 10 straight holes and couldn't get anything going. But the Houdini act he pulled terrific on Saturday, and then what the issues they had the whole tournament on the back 9, carved up the front 9 and the issues he had on the back 9, and then you want to say woulda, coulda, shoulda about if he could hit 10 straight fairways, he missed. But that's him. He's at the bottom with driving accuracy, and why a lot of people didn't think he'd do well in this tournament. Lucky he didn't go in the water on 2 and 17, but. Nice run, nice ride. but they don't remember who finishes in second place. And I thought about this long and hard over the weekend. I give him 2 years, that is 8 opportunities. That is 8 more chances to win a major. Because you go back and look, who's going to win a major? It's happened, but it's going to be so hard for him to win a major, period, let alone to do it once he hits the age of 45. These guys, you get up there in age, you worry about the health. Will the back hold up? Will his game hold up? And just what he has to face every single time, how these fields are so strong and these guys. Number one, he's going to have to beat Koepka, the beast, who's won 3 of the last 7 majors. And Tiger shoots a 66, a 66, and a 64, and he can't win. Couldn't win.
Yeah, and he shot a 14 under. Yesterday was his best ever finishing round in a major. And he could not hit a fairway in the front 9, never hit one. And that's the most remarkable thing about it to me. He was scrambling the entire front 9, right?
So many great shots.
And then just to save himself, but also to be 3 under at that point and finish 13 under in the front 9 for the tournament and to shoot a 64. He had no business yesterday, in my opinion, shooting a 64 and finishing second, and he did.
Mm-hmm. And then Koepka had the long run where he didn't have he's playing bogey-free golf, and then he had a couple bogeys, and then Saturday, and then he straightened it out on Sunday as he was minus 350. I saw him in play late Saturday at the Westgate, and then went off even money at Westgate and William Hill to win it, and he holds off Tiger. And then what happened to Adam Scott? He wins $1.9 million. Very disappointed in Fowler, which you could blame the oblique injury. Okay, no show on Sunday. Spieth had the triple, which put him out of it, but Spieth still was tied for 12th. Day with a no-show. Molinari was nails again.
How about Justin Johnson?
Couldn't get over them. Yeah, they're another one. I thought he was in it going into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't put anything together. And then it looked like your boy Peters was going to make he was going to make a noise. And then he goes in the water on 17, and Tiger just misses. Rahm had a good run. And how about our boy Sink? How the hell did he finish? He finished top 5? Sink was 4th.
He did. Yep.
Great tournament. And then the bad beat was Sink, as Barstool tweeted that out. Look at this hat tan. VSiN.com or the app. Look at that.
I love it.
With the hat tan.
I think it's great.
Oh, it's amazing.
That is. Look at that look. That's
see
Tiger. Like, what on earth happened to you? You ever had that before? See, I have the.
Yeah, I had it on backwards.
And you had that right here?
Right, the whole front.
Okay.
Yep.
I've had the visor on before, and I forgot to put, like, sunscreen or anything right here on the peak. So the visor I pulled down. So the only part that got burned on me was up here on the peak. And I take it off, and I got, like, these gigantic burns right here on my forehead and then nothing else below.
Oh, we went to Lake.
That's a bizarre
We
look.
went to Lake Tahoe one year for that great golf tournament they ever. I got torched. My head was torched. That's when I was thinning. Before I did something about my hair loss, I was torched. I
actually think the one time
I was
in Tahoe,
burned. It was a mess for 2 weeks.
I don't know. I can't confirm this, but I do think the one time that I was in Tahoe covering that tournament, I had sun poisoning or something. I mean, I've never been that red. I was sick to my stomach, and I could just rip. I was like an onion. Just the amount of peeling from my skin was just disgusting. I know it's early in the morning, so we apologize for that. But I mean, that was just awful. And by the way, good luck with that. When you're as white as I am and you get burned like that, for a week, you're out of commission.
I know. But to me, the story, make no mistake about it. The story's Koepka. And I know the media wants to just throw it in your face, Tiger all the time.
No,
Tiger.
Not according to everybody else.
Oh, my God. I know you're upset with McCord. I was disappointed in Nick Faldo. I mean, it's just the greatest comeback in the history of sports if he's able to do this. And I mean, again, you know this, Nick. Ben Hogan was hit by a Greyhound bus. They didn't think he'd walk again. Won 6 majors. But
well, just the laughing on the air. Oh my God, look at this.
I can't believe
They're
this.
so excited.
Tiger.
They were literally giddy on the air for what was happening live in front of them.
How long have you been playing golf? He's the 5th guy to do this. 5th guy to win the PGA and U.S. Open in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And it is his great quote, and he ties the record, by the way. And as he told Jim Nantz, this is a money quote, and why Tiger's got to be worried. You're going to see it now. Football's dangerous. CTE. And it's not just football. But what if these big athletes decide, I'm going to golf? Look at the size. Look at the arms on that guy. He's a monster. Hitting at 340, 380. Him and DJ, workout partners. What if these guys decide, and maybe they're doing it right now too, and we just don't know about it because they're in high school and college, and they're not getting the media attention. What if they say, I'm playing golf? It's safe. Koepka just won $2 million Even if you make the cut, you make $30,000. That's what I'm doing. And he told Nance golf's never going to be the same. I think he's right. I think they're going to decide to do that.
Let me give you the ages of some of the golfers that Tiger's going to be up against here. And we'll go next 2 years like you talked about.
So you're right. As I tweeted, and the Tiger people coming after me, but whatever. It's a fact. When we talk about the Masters in April, it will be an 11-year drought, and he'll be 43 years old. He's up against it.
That, and here you go with the young fellas on tour. JT, right now, we're talking about right now. JT is 20, Justin Thomas, 25 years old. Dustin Johnson is 34. Koepka's 28. Jason Day is 30. Molinari, what a year he had. He's 35. Patrick Reed won the Masters. He's 28. DeChambeau is 24. Finau is 28. Fowler is 29. Rahm is 23. Rory is 29. Cantlay is awesome. He's 26. Fleetwood is 27. Schauffele is 24.
No intimidation factor. Gone.
I mean, that's amazing.
Fields are so strong. It's not those Mickey Mouse fields he was going against, too. And I know he's the second best of all time, but this long drought here.
I don't get the narrative about who can you count on to challenge Tiger moving forward. I heard that yesterday. I'm like, what does that even mean? Who can you count? He's been good in the last two majors. Who can you count on? And by the way,
how about the list of guys you just ran off?
And I'm sorry, but Koepka won 2 this year and 3 out of the last 7.
Yeah.
What if he wins 1 next year? So that's 4 in 3 years. That's kind of like that's a mini Tiger run that he put together 20 years ago.
He's going to have to play out of his mind, and he's going to have to go again. And all those guys are going to have an off weekend. It just doesn't seem possible how that's going to happen.
So close, the last 2 tournaments, though, the last 2 majors. This is Koepka saying, you know what? Yeah, if you told me I would have won 2 this year, I would have laughed.
When I look at what I've done in the past two months, it's incredible. Looking where I was, sitting in my couch, watching the Masters, and to think I would do this. I would have laughed at you and told you there was no way, no chance. And to do it is really incredible.
He was 20-1 before it started, 25-1 going into Friday. And some of the roars that we saw, though, when Tiger was actually making that comeback yesterday, we noticed it, the broadcast crew noticed it, and Koepka did as well.
You could hear the roars when we were on 10 and 11, and then...
Which we just know they would screw up a cup of coffee because you saw this horrible coverage all weekend, but promote these other great stars you have.
Right.
I mean, look what this guy's doing.
And show them, like yesterday. They barely showed anybody yesterday.
Right.
They got away from, 8 or 10 guys that could have been come on. You have the number, right? 68 shots from Tiger. Yeah, here.
This is from Golf Digest on Friday. Once Tiger started, and he was the final group with Rory and Justin, once they started, they showed 68 shots, and TNT aired 30 commercials. They had, instead of showing golf on Friday, they aired 6 episodes of Supernatural and Charmed. 2 guys shot a 63. You didn't see 1 shot. On Friday, there were 12 hours of golf played, but only 6 hours of coverage. 9 players shot a 65 or lower. Live coverage, U.S. Open, 37 hours. Open Championship, 49 hours. PGA, 28. What are we doing?
It's 2018. And
it's not. You're not going to see it anyways. While you get the app, you go online. They're not part of the featured group. You're not going to see Schwartzel or these other guys. You didn't see it. These guys shooting 63. You didn't see it.
No, they're going to be on the featured guys, the featured groups that they have.
That's right.
By the way, another thing, I pointed this out on Friday, how the delay was. Is it me? And you can tweet me at Mitch Moss Radio. We're at VSiNLive at Paulie Howard.
I don't know about the delay, but I know the thing kept freezing on me on Thursday.
Okay, I didn't have that problem. But when I was watching, I pulled up the app yesterday, right? On one of the TVs at the house. Tiger had not started yet. He was on number 3 already. On the app, it's Tiger's walking in. You just saw it right now. The shirt on.
3 holes behind?
He was finishing 3 in real time on my app on my TV. He had not even started yet. That's okay? People are all right with this? Are you kidding me?
Oh, boy.
How does that happen?
I don't know what's going on.
That's completely unacceptable.
Yep. Your tweet was awesome. The Golf Channel showing NHL playoff hockey, but not golf during a major.
And I don't even care if it's on the Golf Channel.
And
Just
I don't
put
know
it. again, of
I don't know what TNT.
the combined networks that we have today, and you can't show that online. And I don't know. It's so perplexing to me. I can't stand it. And I love golf, and I don't need Tiger Woods to love golf. Never did, ever. When he was gone in like 20, again, I said this earlier, I think 2015 was the best year of my life that I can remember with the majors. Everyone was fun, just absolutely sick with how good these guys were and how deep the groups were on the final day.
I knew a day in. I go, these commercials are out of control. There's show some, the commercials are out of control. What was going on?
Yep.
And then good job by a lot of these Golf Digest and other people tracking it, and also the live coverage comparing it to the other majors.
So Spieth at the Masters next year in April over at the Westgate, he's 10-1. You have a bunch of guys at 12-1, including Tiger Woods. Believe it or not, Jeff Sherman told me yesterday, Tiger winning the PGA would have been a winner over at the Westgate. Not a loser. First time in years that Jeff could have said that. Here at the South Point, Chris Andrews told me last night, pretty much a wash. Very small loser.
Interesting.
Basically like a peanut. So people were,
yeah.
I can't,
well, they're betting the same people. The public's also, they kind of shift. It's like, all right, Doug Kazarian had the article about why do people still like him and bet on him when he hasn't won in 10 years, major and 5 for any tournament. It's why I've cashed so many tickets on him. It was a long time ago. So you have the sentimental value, but they've kind of shifted. Everyone's betting Fowler, Rahm, and Fleetwood.
Mm-hmm.
And they always,
and evidently Finau.
And the Finau.
At least at some spots, anyway.
Yeah, Finau, that's
so,
the best one.
In 45 minutes, we will talk to Nick Bogdanovich. He is the director of trading over at William Hill Sportsbooks here in the state. I can't wait to find out, though, if it was different at his spot because of the in-play that they offer. And I know Westgate does it as well in some other spots. But what would the result have been like over at William Hill had he won? Because when he was making that charge again, I bet you the fans were like, okay, I got to get on him now. So that's coming up in 45.
And I saw,
Nick.
what he was going into Sunday as well. But in play was dynamite. It was great TV again. It delivered again. It was great. We had you had so many guys close in the back nine, and Adam Scott playing well. Can't handicap human emotion. He was doing it for his friend who passed away. But there was so many guys right there, and then a lot of guys fell apart. Then it just became Tiger or Koepka. But I mean, Jesus. Not to mention Koepka 20 under wasn't far off, because remember he missed 3 easy putts.
Yeah, you're right.
Where he could have. I mean, so if he makes those putts, it's not even close. Or if Tiger goes in the water on 2 or 17, we're not even talking about him today, because it would probably been a triple bogey.
Well, some of the putts at Tiger also had lip out or settle a
couple of those.
The Caddyshack thing,
fair.
and also Justin Thomas again. How many easy shots in the sports gambling capital of the world? You will learn how to interpret these sports betting markets, so you know what the sharp bettors are thinking. Plus, you will get the daily betting schedules with the official rotation order. It's simple and it's free. Just go to vsin.com/newsletter and put in your email address. Again, it's vsin.com/newsletter, and it's brought to you by good friends over at footballcontest.com. In Las Vegas, they're bigger and better than ever, so don't miss out on the action at footballcontest.com. You will find all the info you need on the biggest football contest in Vegas, including the world-famous Super Contest. We'll get to some Major League Baseball coming up next. The numbers on Chris Sale are now historically good. That's coming up.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at VSiN.com.
I'm Brent Musburger, and I'd like to ask all of you business leaders out there, does your company want to reach men in the prime of their lives? Men with a sense of adventure and ample disposable income? You will be reaching a national audience that is 95% male, college educated, between ages 25 to 54, evenly distributed, making $100,000 a year or more, and visiting Las Vegas at least once a year. VSiN Advertising delivers results because we connect with our fans in so many ways: video, radio, newsletters, podcasts, email, and right here in person. That's right, come on and visit it at the South Point at the tip of the Strip in Las Vegas. You too can get the same results